Chapter 26. Our own projection and the projection of the other. As we project our programs in the mirror of the world, we surround ourselves with people who complement us with similar programs, people with emotional addictions who join us for fear of loneliness. The more we try to separate ourselves from them, the more they seek us. If our relationship with ourselves is zero, we are annulled. We let the other do with us as he pleases as long as he does not abandon us. We endure humiliation and abuse and justify the abusers, considering that they have the right to act in this way, since we are incapable of governing our own lives. These are people who carry deep programs of loneliness and abandonment inherited from their grandparents and ancestors, which have been, in some way, physically abandoned by their parents. The ancestors are waiting for reparation in their descendants to free themselves in the other world from the mistakes they experienced in this one. Currently, there are more than 2,000 scientific studies that show that we inherit the conflicts, the ways of life and the problems of our ancestors, and that these manifest as physical symptoms. According to the interpretation of the ego, I will punish the sins of the fathers until the third and fourth generation, is an especially cruel assertion. From the perspective of the ego, we ask ourselves what fault we have of the sins of our fathers. From the point of view of the Holy Spirit, or, what is similar, of quantum physics or metaphysics, according that everything is united, we understand that everything is information and that it cannot be lost but it can be transformed. Special relationships are a wonderful opportunity to manifest this information, to become aware and free these toxic programs, turning them into holy relationships. We will see the explanation of the holy relationship later on. The ego establishes relationships with the sole purpose of obtaining something, and it keeps the giver clinging to him through guilt. It is impossible for the ego to enter into any relationship without anger, because it believes that anger wins friends. Even if he will not say it, but although that is his purpose. For the ego really believes that you can achieve something making others feel guilty. For the ego, the only thing that relationships mean is that bodies are together. This is what the ego always demands, and does not object to where the mind is going or what it thinks, because that does not seem to be important. While the body is there to receive his sacrifice, he is happy. For him, the mind is something private, and the body is the only thing that can be shared. Thoughts are basically something unimportant, except if with them you can attract or push away someone else's body. And that is the criterion that is used to judge whether ideas are good or bad. Everything that makes the other feel guilty and that prevents him from leaving due to guilt is good. What frees the other from guilt is bad. And the course continues. Suffering and sacrifice are the gifts with which the ego blesses all union. And those who unite before his altar accept suffering and sacrifice as the price of their union. In their angry alliances, born of the fear of loneliness, although dedicated to the perpetuation of it, each seeks to alleviate their guilt by making the other feel more guilty. For each one believes that it mitigates their own guilt. Every time you get angry, you can be sure that you have entered into a special relationship that the ego has blessed. For anger is its blessing. Anger is merely an attempt to make another feel guilty, and this attempt is the only basis the ego accepts for special relationships. While you believe that being with another body is having company, you will be forced to try to reduce the other to his body, and to confine him there by guilt. The Course continues to illuminate us. What is projected and appears to be external to the mind is not outside at all, but is an effect of what is inside.